Good morning and welcome back to Margin. This morning I want to talk about obstacles, the financial obstacles that we're facing and the stats that we're seeing in today's economic climate. So let's jump right into it. So all of us have experienced some kind of financial obstacle in life, some kind of setback, some kind of hurdle that we've had to overcome. Unless, of course, you have a trust fund and you've been able to live off that. The rest of us have had setbacks. We've had financial challenges that we've had to overcome along the way. And as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't give in to the fact that that managing personal finances is personal to you and it's challenging because it's personal to you, we have to press on. We have to move forward. And although our society may want to tell us that, just throw a little more money and have a positive attitude and you'll be able to get through it, there's many aspects of life that just a positive attitude and just throwing money at it will not necessarily fix. And for most of us, we have to manage our personal finances ourselves. We can't necessarily outsource that. And so this is an opportunity for us to jump into how to encounter those obstacles as they come our way. So how do we best learn from these obstacles, maybe even these failures, maybe even these hurdles when it comes to our personal finances? If we all have experienced some kind of setback at some point, and maybe a few, maybe many, how do we allow those to refine us rather than define us? How do we allow that process to make us better at managing our personal finances rather than stopping us in our tracks? So let's jump into that part. Many times we stop our minds in the process of figuring out a problem, figuring out an issue, figuring out how to overcome something. And many times we can basically be the limiting factor in our own lives, not allowing our minds to fully process through what we need to resolve. And this causes an issue because it teaches us to basically stop when things get difficult, to basically stop short of resolving issues. And oftentimes I see this in people's personal finances where they tried that whole budgeting thing. They tried to be on the same page with their spouse, or they tried to live within their means. But at some point they had maybe a setback, or maybe they allowed it to define them. Maybe they allowed that failure of a bankruptcy or something like that to stop them in their tracks. But personal finance is fluid. It's supposed to be constantly something that you are learning and growing how to manage better day by day. And there's no mountaintop peak experience where everyone becomes just a perfect shining example of managing their finances well. We all have those aspects that are shortfalls when managing our personal finances. And that's just life. That's life being a human. So you've probably seen the motivational saying that encourages you to right-size your dreams against your excuses. And oftentimes that's represented by an elephant, which is our many excuses for not doing X, whatever X is. But on the other side, then there's us sitting on the other side of the teeter-totter, dreaming up ideas. And although teeter-totters, I don't even know if they allow those on playgrounds anymore because of how dangerous they are. There's still that aspect that I think is helpful for us to relate to life. Many times we allow our excuses to outweigh what we really want to accomplish. So in your mind, you may have dreams that you have had since childhood. You may have dreams that have developed through your formative years or into college. And oftentimes those dreams can be almost set on a back burner, maybe because we think those dreams are not attainable. But I've seen so many times where there are people who maybe immigrated from a different country, or maybe grew up in a very poor area of town, who set their mind on that dream and accomplished things that seemed impossible. And I think it's really important to right size your excuses compared to your dreams, and really be able to push through the why as to why you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So I'm no football aficionado, but there's a Jack Welch quote that I align directly with money and how you handle your money. And it says, the game is won or lost before you begin based on the players you field and how well you prepared them to perform. So with that, I think of how the players could be related to your money, whether you allow those players to stay benched and be bench warmers, much like leaving your cash in a low interest bearing bank account or under your mattress, even worse. Or if you actually have those dollars working for you, playing on the field, gaining in skill over a period of time because they're actually being applied to something that can help them to compound over time. So you have to allow those players on the field, those dollars, to work on your behalf so that they are not dormant, so that currency is a current flowing to you, but also into the economy in other ways. And that doesn't mean you just become flippant and you start spending your money on everything that meets the eye and you use it as an excuse to live hand to mouth. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, think of it as a football field and that you have players going on that field, some playing defense, some playing offense, and those dollars that you're putting on the field, you want to be intentional about how those players are actually playing the game and how you can best strategize those players to work their hardest for you. So you may have heard the saying that there's three things you can do with money. You can spend it, you can save it, or you can give it. And oftentimes when people think about their money, they think about, well, I am working in order to make a paycheck. That paycheck should be able to be used to my discretion in whatever way. But when you don't assign where that money needs to go, it will have a tendency of leaving you without necessarily knowing at the end of the month what happened to that money, what happened to that money at the end of the year when you had made X amount per year. Oftentimes people just don't know what happens to their incomes. So we may have also had those opportunities come our way where we didn't have the ability of applying that time, those resources, or even the talent to be able to exercise or take advantage of that opportunity as it came. And I think that it's something that's so easy for all of us to do. It's so easy to see an opportunity come our way and almost not know how to align the proper things in the proper time that we need to in order to take advantage of that. So I've had a number of those experiences actively investing in real estate over the years, and opportunities that I've passed up on that I've run the numbers after the fact and they made perfect sense on paper, but for whatever reason, it wasn't the right timing. It wasn't necessarily the right deal. And so oftentimes we can look back and look at what we missed out on opportunities wise. And yet that's an opportunity for us to grow so that going forward, we don't make the same mistake again, in the sense of not taking, advantage of the opportunity that comes our way when we do have those aspects aligned. If this information is helpful to you, explore the Margin membership, where me and my team will help you take the information you're learning and apply it to your life and your finances. I have built an interactive course that allows me and my team to connect with you and come alongside people like you to help you revamp your finances and build margin into your life. Click the link in the description below if you're interested. We hope to see you there.